9 teams are 2-5 or worse, and those teams are now in the race for the first overall pick.
Hire an offensive coach at the end of the year after letting Aaron go, and then you just draft the best college quarterback available and let it bake for a few years.
With another week of action now in the books, how about we dive into our latest edition of the 2025 NFL Power Rankings. Number 32, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 32. Well, they kept it within a score again. That counts for something, right? Benching Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor somehow made the Jets' offense even worse, as the latter threw 2 interceptions against a lousy Carolina defense and a 13-6 loss.
Depressing. Unimpressed.
Abysmal.
Disappointing.
Number 31, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 30. New head coach, same old issues for the Titans. They didn't look any better under interim head coach Mike McCoy in a humiliating 31-13 loss to the Patriots. I don't think there is much of anything to like about McCoy's Titans debut. Number 30, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 28. As if the Dolphins hadn't hit rock bottom already, they came into Cleveland and lose 31-6 to the Browns. Hey, honest question, are they just purposely tanking here? Number 29, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 29. The Saints once again kept it closer than expected against a significantly better and deeper opponent, but Spencer Rattler's 3 interceptions coupled with a horrific rush D that allowed 222 yards were way too much to overcome in a 26-14 loss to the Bears. The 1-6 Saints are showing some fight, unlike the teams below them on our list. Number 28, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 27. The Ravens got a much-needed bye week, giving Lamar Jackson more time to rest before Baltimore hosts Chicago in Week 8. Number 27, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 25. When we think of the Raiders, we immediately think of this iconic quote from Michael Clark Duncan's John Coffey character in The Green Mile.
I'm tired, boss.
The Raiders might as well have forfeited instead of showing up for a 31-0 beatdown in Kansas City. And KC did the Raiders a solid by pulling their starters in the fourth quarter. Number 26, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 31. Dylan Gabriel and the offense didn't have to do a whole lot in this one. Rookie running back Quinshon Judkins posted 3 touchdowns in the blowout of Miami. It's early, sure, but the decision to trade down with Jacksonville from the number 2 spot looks like a massive win for Cleveland. Number 25, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 24. On one hand, the Cardinals can be happy about nearly upsetting the powerhouse Packers without Kyler Murray. On the other hand, well, they're probably kicking themselves for another fourth quarter meltdown. Losers of 5 straight now, there is just no moral losses in Arizona. Number 24, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 23. Oof, that's gotta hurt. The Giants led 26-8 on the heavily favored Broncos with 5 minutes left, only to let the impossible unfold. After giving up 3 straight touchdowns, Jackson Dart rushed in the go-ahead score with 37 seconds remaining. Now, the Giants were gonna be okay, but no. Nope, Jude McComick missed the extra point, so the lead stayed at 2. The Broncos orchestrated a surgical drive that culminated in Will Lutz's game-winning field goal, when it should have been a game-tying kick. Oh, just a brutal choke job. Number 23, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 21. Well, any hope that the Texans had at turning their season around for a playoff push was just flushed down the toilet. At 2-4, the Texans aren't making a comeback. Turn off the lights, let's just see if they can avoid the AFC South basement. Number 22, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 26. In a legitimate Game of the Year candidate, Joe Flacco outdueled Aaron Rodgers in the Uncle's Bowl in prime time. At 3-4, the Bengals still have plenty of work to do. But if Flacco can follow the simple formula of feeding Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, then hey, who's to say the Bengals can't climb back into the wide-open AFC wildcard race? Number 21, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 19. If J.J. McCarthy's return date is still unclear, the Vikings really need to bring in another quarterback. Wentz had 2 brutal interceptions in a 28-22 loss to the Eagles. They had every opportunity to win this game. Number 20, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 18. Hey, speaking of 2024 NFC playoff teams that need to panic, the Commanders were playing terrible football before Jaden Daniels left in the third quarter with a hand hamstring injury, Washington lost 5 games last year. They've now lost 4, and the schedule does them no favors with the Chiefs, Seahawks, and Lions next up.
Number 19, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 17.
A maddening loss for the Falcons after a statement home win over the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. Just brutal. The Falcons played like a team that didn't get its beauty sleep, falling 20-10 to a banged-up 49ers team without its starting quarterback, 2 best defensive players, and top 2 wide receivers. At 3-3, the Falcons are a mushy middle team that can't seem to decide whether they want to contend or miss the playoffs for the 8th straight year.
Number 18, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 22.
The Jekyll and Hyde squad that is the 2025 Cowboys continues. This offense is as explosive as any other at full strength. The defense leaves a lot to be desired, but hey, at least the Dak Prescott-led offense is enough to keep Dallas in the playoff race.
Number 17, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 20.
Hey, don't look now, but Dave Canales' Panthers are 4-3 and very much in the playoff race after defeating the hapless Jets in a defensive slugfest. We know the soft schedule has helped them pile up the W's, but any Carolina fan would take a 4-3 start considering that they lost their first 2 games.
Number 16, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 12.
After a sloppy home loss to the Seattle Seahawks, the Jags traveled to London and got manhandled by the Los Angeles Rams 35-7. Though Travis Hunter finally broke through with his first 100-yard game and NFL touchdown, Brian Thomas Jr. was once again invisible.
Number 15, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 10.
The Chargers certainly look to be running out of gas with an unfortunate onslaught of injuries to key players. They were no match for Daniel Jones and the visiting Colts. The Bolts have now lost 3 of 4 following a perfect 3-0 start and no longer occupy the top spot in the AFC West.
Number 14, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 16.
Hey, what do you say? The Bears took down New Orleans 26-14 for their 4th straight win. As DeAndre Swift continues to get better in Johnson's offense, Dennis Allen's D is starting to figure it out after a horrific start as well.
Number 13, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 15.
Breaking news, the Chiefs are back and the dynasty is not over. As expected, Rashee Rice's return jolted that offense. He finished with 2 touchdowns on a day where KC outgained the Raiders 434-95 in total yards.
Number 12, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 3.
This week's most significant letdown loss has to go to the Steelers. Win that game, and they inch even closer to the AFC North. But the Steelers let the Bengals plant a seed of doubt with 40-year-old Joe Flacco putting on a Burrow-like performance.
Number 11, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 8.
The Bills were on a bye week, buying up more time to fix up some uncharacteristic mistakes before the second half stretch run.
Number 10, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 13. Despite 4 giveaways, the Seahawks made easy work of the visiting Texans in a 27-19 victory. Seattle sure looks poised to end its 3-year playoff drought. Can they outlast the 49ers and Rams for the division crown? Only time will tell. Number 9, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 11.
And Hall is well again in Philly, at least for 1 week. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles passing game finally got going after consecutive losses, with the reigning Super Bowl MVP throwing for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 28-22 victory over Minnesota. If they can do that against an elite Vikings defense, what's stopping the defending champs from doing that more consistently going forward?
Number 8, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 9.
Another crisp and tidy performance by Kyle Shanahan's 49ers, who keep gutting out wins no matter how many star players are missing. 201 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns on Christian McCaffrey's end paced that offense, with Robert Saleh's defense turning in a lights-out performance after a horrific Week 6 performance in Tampa.
Number 7, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 14.
Hey, don't look now, but Drake May's MVP-like run has guided New England to 4 straight wins and in sole possession of first in the AFC East. And yeah, they're also in contention for the conference's top seed.
Number 6, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 1. Hey, there's no shame in losing on the road to the Lions. The Bucs' main concern is the health of Mike Evans, who may be done for the season after suffering a broken collarbone. Number 5, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 7. Just another day at the office for Jahmyr Gibbs, who had 218 yards of offense and 2 total touchdowns. And don't overlook the Lions' D that has now held opponents to 17 points or fewer in 3 of their last 4 games. Number 4, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 6.
In the NFL, you take a victory in any style. The Packers had no business letting the Cardinals keep it that close with a backup quarterback in place, but hey, we suppose it's healthy to build up that close game experience ahead of the postseason. Green Bay is a clean 4-1-1, with old friend Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers next up on schedule.
Number 3, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 5.
The Broncos looked done for when the Giants held a 26-8 lead in the fourth quarter, but Sean Payton's resilient bunch pulled off one of the greatest regular season comebacks in league history, putting up 33 points in the fourth quarter to squeak out a thrilling 33-32 win. Now winners of 4 straight, Denver sits atop the AFC West with a 5-2 record. Up next, a can't-miss showdown with Dak Prescott's Cowboys.
Number 2, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 4.
The Rams had one of the biggest statement wins of Week 7, traveling to London and demolishing the Jaguars 35-7. How about 5 touchdowns from Matt Stafford to put a stamp on the statement? The Rams have allowed just 10 points since their stunning Week 5 loss to the 49ers. They now head into the bye week with a tiny 5-2 record and the 1-win Saints next up on the schedule.
Number 1, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 2.
Man, the Colts just keep finding new ways to impress. The Colts traveled to the West Coast and humiliated the Chargers 38-24. I mean, what do you do when Jones is having an MVP-like year with Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, and Michael Pittman Jr. as his weapons? The AFC's top seed just keeps on rolling, with no signs of slowing down. But hey, what changes would you make to our Week 8 power rankings? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.